Hi, I'm Neha Sharma, and I am the of humor. It's amazing that he barks.
Hi, everybody. My name is Vishnu Tenkayala. I have worked as a cinematographer and an editor for Crew Cut.
Hi, I'm Siddharth Dubey. I'm a production sound mixer and sound designer. And on this season of Crew Cut, I worked on as the sound designer for the Naren and Benedict episode.
Oh my god. Hi, I'm Neha Sharma, and I'm the post production supervisor on CrewCut.
Hi, I'm Shubhalakshmi Banerjee, and I'm one of the editors for CrewCut.
Hi, my name is Zenish, and I work as an animator and a filmmaker. And I have worked on animation films, short films, and I have also worked on feature films like Cargo, Chamkila, Mrs., Mehta Boys, etc.
Hi, I'm Abhishek. I work as an editor. For CrewCut, I have edited 2 episodes.
Hi guys, my name is Pranay Shah. I'm a music composer, music producer, and a sound engineer. And I mix and master the sound for CrewCut.
Hi everyone, this is Satyam Samantre, and I'm an editor on this season of CrewCut.
Hello everyone, I'm Devjyoti Shaha, an animation filmmaker and founder of Goppo Animation. And together at Goppo, we made the intro for CrewCut.
Hey, I'm Stuart DaCosta. I'm a music producer and composer. And on CrewCut, I've worked on the title sequence.
It really is a thing of beauty to be able to watch people that are so good at what they do and so passionate, just do their thing. And we've been so lucky in being able to observe so closely not only the people that we've had on the show that have been so generous and forthcoming in opening up their world to us, but also the people behind the scenes, our scenes, that have helped us bring CrewCut to you. So we wanted you to meet them. And in true CrewCut fashion, we wanted to ask them a couple of questions, beginning with why they wanted to get into films.
I wanted to be in films because I like storytelling. But if I'm really honest, I figured that I don't have the talent to sing. I am never going to win a Nobel Prize. But I would really like to win an award as big as the Oscars. But I'm doing nothing at the moment to... When I was young, I used to wake up every morning at the crack of dawn to watch the Oscars live because I felt like if I sacrificed my sleep, the universe would somehow pay me by awarding me an Oscar. I have gotten older and realized that you have to work really, really hard for any kind of accolade of that magnitude. So we try. I stay in film because I'm hopeful.
My relationship with films began in a sort of an accidental way. I grew up in a house that lives and breathes music. We wake up to music, we go off to sleep to music. Around the time I became 17 years old, I sat down with my parents and they asked me, what do you want to do? So the moment I was done with that course, I started looking for internships. Just that first day assisting on a scene which they were writing music for just completely changed my mindset. And all I wanted to do after that was work with audio and visual.
I chose to work in films because cinema is life itself and animation is cinema. It is through animation that I get to observe as well as express life limitlessly in my own ways.
Initially, when I did get into my filmmaking journey, I started off because I thought there's so much glam and popularity and this whole bit of celeb status. And as much as that's what propagated me to enter into filmmaking, it kind of changed through my course as I kept growing as a filmmaker myself. I did manage to study about cinema. And when I studied about cinema, I learned to realize that, oh my God, this is way bigger than any of us. And I also believe that the glory days of cinema is yet to come. And I'm glad to be a part of it.
I love to tell stories. And I love how filmmaking actually helps you tell stories in the most magical way. Apart from that, animation makes it even more magical. That's the reason why I'm an animator.
I wanted to be in films because, I will be very honest with this one. It was my physics teacher who pushed me to do further studies in media and entertainment industry. Eventually, with time, all his advice started making sense to me. All those big cameras, larger than life sets, the process of editing. I got so fascinated with the process of filmmaking, so I happily landed at the right place.
I wanted to be in films because I've always loved stories. I've been reading fiction since I was a kid, and I enjoy the worlds that we see in movies. So I wanted to be always a part of those worlds, and this seemed like the logical choice.
I wanted to be in films because I distinctly remember being really inspired and motivated by the films of Christopher Nolan. And the earliest memory that I have of me taking any steps towards being a filmmaker was writing a script right after watching The Dark Knight. There's a certain connection to human emotions that I could feel whenever I would watch a Nolan film. That's what primarily motivated me, I guess. The fact that I could feel certain emotions while watching his films. And that drove me to make my own films.
I've always wanted to work on films because I love collaborating with creative people. I feel like when you get to be around an idea that snowballs into a film or movie or a TV show, and me getting to be a part of that and collaborate with people with my music, it's what I live for. It's the best feeling.
I was a student of fine arts. Photography was one of my subjects. And after that, after college, one thing led to the other. I started to edit just for fun initially, I guess. And somehow work started coming in. And that's how I'm here now.
What would you, as storytellers, change about the industry that we're in?
Something I wish was different would definitely be our general audience's perceptibility towards films, as well as the industry norms that set the tone. Which film deserves to be in the theaters, which film deserves to be in the OTT, which should be seen and which shouldn't. I feel as an industry, we have segregated our products in different ways. And I feel like as Indian cinema, it is only possible for us to come together and transcend the notions of virality or trendiness and just become immortal.
Something I wish was different is that working in the film industry, we are not the people who work from 9 to 5 and 5 days a week. So I feel being little empathetic towards each other and thinking beyond the deadlines sometimes could make a huge impact for all of us.
Post-production is something that's given the least amount of time, I believe, during the entire process of making a feature film, or more often than not, a web series these days. I believe if there was a little bit more care and a little bit more time given to these post-production schedules, we'd see a lot more quality come out of the films that we're expecting to see on the big screen.
I wish we gave more people the opportunity to do something different. We took a chance on people. I mean, if I had a penny for every time that someone asked me to show them exactly what I did, or show them exactly the kind of project I'm pitching, or I think I'd be very, very, very rich. So it would be nice if, we could just do new things. And I think that tends to be really hard because people are very keen to put you in a box and keep you there.
Something that I wish was different. I feel like I wish India had better funding and more recognition for independent arts, like independent cinema, independent music.
Mostly, I always wondered how do we actually calculate remuneration in the kind of projects that we do, especially because every single project is so different from each other. I wish, we had a template on which we could exactly tell how much, would it be possible to charge for what kind of project.
Amongst the crew, amongst the people working in the industry, it is not a very common practice to reveal what a certain filmmaker is charging or earning. And I feel those conversations should be a lot more transparent. I feel it would empower all of the crew and the filmmakers who are working for a production or a studio to have a better understanding of their finances, which would mean that in case if I were an amateur filmmaker, if I'm coming from absolutely no backing, I could sort of know what kind of money that I can sort of expect and possibly plan my finances and possibly make it as a career choice possibility to even, be able to raise a family. Because at the moment, because nobody talks about it, I do not have enough information to make a certain decision, which could be a life-changing decision. By just having these conversations, I feel a lot of people having even a minor inclination towards art and cinema could get into cinema by weighing their pros and cons and finances and sort of working that out, and which should only benefit the cinema at large, because art only improves because more of it is being made. The more it's made, the more chances for it to keep getting better and better. Like holistically, it's a great win.
They helped us put the season together, and what were some of their favorite moments from it?
My favorite moments from this season of Crew Cut is when Naren talks about how you have to let the audience take that final step. You got to let the music allow them to take that final step.
The whole point of music being there in a scene is that it should be doing something that wouldn't have happened otherwise. And if there is already that level of drama and there's that level of tenderness and compassion already happening, give it that space. And it's always, you feel like if that you have to let give audience their dignity as well, and they treat them intelligently too. Because that it's so much more powerful in a moment where if an audience makes that last step, they take that last step on their own. Right? But it's not like I'm telling you what to do. I'm taking it, then you make that. You connect the dots.
Then they're really with you.
That's what makes it more powerful, when they feel like they're part of it, when the audience feels like they're part of it. And that really resonated with me. It makes me think even now of some of the decisions I may have made before.
Super hard to pick. But if I had to, it definitely has to be my first episode from Kukat with Harshvi Oberoi, where Jim and Harshveen really set the tone about what Crew Cut is all about the technicalities, about the creative geniuses that are involved in making a film that are lesser talked about.
My favorite moment from the season is when DP Harshveer gives this advice that do not let yourself die for this. There is a life outside this set.
This whole thing is much bigger than yourself, and I feel like you should know that from time to time. Because what happens is you get like super obsessed, super involved in it, and then you forget to value human life, including your own. You get into a set, they are your family for 2-3 months, then most of them are gone. Then you find a new family. So I don't think it's a healthy loop. So you have to be professional and not too involved, I feel also. And because if you have something going that you like, which is not necessarily part of your professional life,
it's better.
I think it's healthier.
Spend time with family and friends, explore your hobbies, and just take it light. So this really hit me hard.
I really enjoyed shooting Niharika and Vidya's episode. It was so fun. I think that we all wanted the episode to be like way longer, because the chemistry between the two of them, the conversation was so easy. It was so fun to be in that room and watch that whole process happen. Lastly, I loved Meghna's deep dive, the one that we released after her episode. I mean, the amount of work and research that she did to create the world in Rocket Boys for the audience. I mean, the amount of research and thought that went into it was just spectacular.
We're talking about the Apsara reactor, which was featured in the first season of Rocket Boys, for which we had like these 16-page PDFs, which we had to read through, understand the scientific language of how things work. Understanding the scale of it was pretty challenging for us. We ended up finding a picture with a human to scale, and then we gauged the scale of the entire reactor. We made miniatures. So, it took us a couple of attempts to kind of get to the right scale and dimension of the reactor. Interestingly, we had connected it to the control room the way it is in reality. We had some references, but to understand the role of every toggle, every switch, every meter that we're seeing, first we had to understand what was the role for that particular thing, the function of each switch on the console, even for the actors to act and to play around with, was quite challenging, because we had to, like I said, we had to learn science first before we build the set.
When she shared with us all of her material and we sat on it, and we just couldn't even include all of it, because she had been so invested in that process. And to me, that was amazing.
My favorite moment from this episode was the Naren and Benedict episode because Naren explains everything so beautifully about film music. Even someone who has no experience or a director who's making his first film, it would get so much easier with his explanation. And also we got to know about how music affects the emotional palette of a film, and he explains it really nicely.
I have one in particular actually. There was this moment where I was working with Jim and Niharika says something in she's so funny and she really expresses. And there was this moment where she's talking about peacock feathers and how she sort of sourced them.
I'd gone on a trek up to Sattal, and this guy was selling peacock feathers. Then I noticed in the peacock feather fan that they had small peacock feathers. I've never seen that in my life. Because normally you get them this size, but they had them the little size, which were actually full peacock feathers. And they were real. I have made my friends and all of us run around the entire chalk and buy all of it. And one of Ravina's dresses I made out of those peacock feathers. And I did. And I carried them all back and they said, "Are you mad, Kenny?" I said, "No, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. And this is what And I remember having a fight with Anurag and my DOP that day because they put blue light on that and I started crying and I was like, nobody can see the details. You have to hit yellow light on my feathers. You don't know where they've come from. So I do stuff like that.
That moment kind of just broke this whole barrier between me as an amateur filmmaker and her as a professional, somebody who's seasoned and done a lot. Like, I just felt like we're just like, at the end of the day, we're just humans and we're playing our own parts. And it felt really reassuring for me that, she's also very similar to any of us.
My favorite moments from this season of Crew Cut have to be the episode featuring Naren, Anirban, and Benedict that deals with the art of music composition and the art of scoring a web series or a feature film, especially the deep dive that goes into their process of scoring a series called as Trial by Fire. And as a technician, it makes me incredibly happy to see the behind the scenes of such an intimate process be available to a larger audience.
Crew Cut is a very special project. Just the entire process of working on it has been so much fun, but also very inspiring because every week walking into the studio and hearing these guys talk to us and break down for us how they do their part in making these films and TV shows that we love watching and admire so much.
In general, I really, really love the concept because you usually expect that we all interview celebrities, but over here we see celebrities are being interviewed by the people who make them the celebrities.
My favorite moments, I think, were when in the initial phase itself, I realized that how appreciative, the team was. Jim and Zoya especially, they always made it a point to appreciate the good parts. They were not just critiquing what's to be solved or what can be better, but whatever was good, they would always make it a point to say it, and that's very encouraging for anybody to do better.
We are on our 12th week of putting out something every Saturday at around 12 p.m. Either an episode or a deep dive. It's been a long 12 weeks and there are 2 more weeks of it to come. And none of it would have been possible without the crew of Crew Cut that you've just met. I thank all of them for all of their help and for working tirelessly and at really odd hours to get this project done. I know that it's not been anybody's main job. It's been something that almost everyone has come together because they are passionate about the subject and they believe in this interview show. So thank you so much. I hope you viewers have been enjoying what we've been doing every week, and I am excited for the break that is coming up, and I'm also excited to start planning season 2 of Crew Cut. If you guys have been enjoying what our entire team has been bringing to you every Saturday, then please like, share, subscribe, click the little bell icon, comment, send to your friends, send to your parents, send to anybody who wants to come up in the film industry, send to anyone who doesn't quite understand what's going on with all of these departments within the film industry. All of it will really, really, really help us. Will really help the page. Thank you.
Oh, don't forget to watch the last episode. Enjoy Crow Cut.